conversation, and today I'm going to be talking about your infinite mind. It's going to refresh on this subject because this is a lot to digest. Especially when it comes to your mind, there is so much, it's so complex that we need to know. And the more that we I go through with you, then the more you're going to be able to really understand, from your conscious to your subconscious, and how that really reflects your internal body. So anyway, with that, we're going into what I'm going to talk about today. I want to welcome you. My name is 𝗥𝗵𝗲.
My name is Ria.
And welcome to our show. So today I'm going to talk about your infinite mind. So let me share this my screen. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about your infinite mind and how your mind, okay, so your infinite mind and your infinite mind. So as we know, our minds, we have so much potential that we have to achieving anything that we want. So using your mind to get the results you want is going to be the key. It's going to be the key, right? And so what you need to know is that, and I talked about this before, is that, your potential, and that's also in the knowing doing gap. If you recall, I mentioned that in chapter 2, that is your knowing doing gap. So every results that we get, we need to, that goes, every results that we have in life, right? So the results that we're achieving is either positive or it's negative. Those are the only two planes that, we are always on, we always operate on. And your infinite mind is the potentials that we know that we have, that we harbor inside of us. But quite sometimes what happens is that good old word called the paradigms. And our paradigms limit us. They absolutely limit us to where we know we want to go, right? We have that potential. We see it. We already know it. And with the moment when we are achieving, we are going towards that higher goal that we know. Do you remember I talked about that C-type goal that you want to be on? You don't want to have the A-type or the B-type, because that is already, you have it. There's no excitement. Your C-type goal is where the excitement lies. So as I said, your paradigms will always come in the way. Will always try to stop you, will try to block you and say, no, you are not worthy of that goal. And I also talked about this chapter 1, the worthy ideal. Are you worthy of your goals? So your paradigms is also known as your limiting beliefs. So when your infinite mind has the potential it wants to give to you, do you fight it? Right? Do you fight it and say, no, the voices that we have inside of us that tells us that we are not good enough, that tells us no success cannot be achieved, that tells us, every single time that, this can't be achieved, or I can't achieve that, then your limiting beliefs is always going to come in and it's going to stop you. So what do we do? And sometimes this is also known as your fixed thoughts. This is also known as your fixed thoughts. And how can you change your fixed thoughts? How can you change your fixed thoughts? And this is of the repetition. So how you change your fixed thoughts is to know, okay, so what are we saying to ourselves? Okay, so that's how we can begin to change our fixed thoughts. Is how do we begin? Number one is what are we affirming? Affirmations. What are we affirming to ourselves every day? What are we saying? And what are we saying? It leads to what are we believing? It's what we believe in. And those beliefs that we have about ourselves, and when you start to affirm those beliefs, right, is automatic, it's going to reprogram. So basically what you're doing here by saying that, you know, those thoughts that you have, you know, you're not going to achieve success, you're not good enough, you know, etc., etc., etc. The more we try to then reprogram, so now we have to try and reprogram our mind, right, from a conscious mind to saying that, because if I, so I'm going to actually, you know what, let me illustrate in the stick figure, because I think that's a better the better illustration. Okay, so if you recall, this is the stick figure, your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, this is your body, right? And then this is the results. So right now, you know, we're affirming to ourselves every day. We are saying to ourselves, you know, I can achieve this, or I won't have success, I won't have this, and I won't have that. That is already, you are saying in your conscious mind, because your conscious is your thinking and your educated mind. Whereas your subconscious is your emotional and your feeling mind. This is where we need to be. We need to be at the subconscious mind, because your thinking and your emotional, this together with what you are believing in yourself, how you're affirming to yourself, will start to give you, you know, what you want, right? So everything starts with how you are behaving in your actions, in your thoughts. So everything, as I said, you know, I gave this illustration, you know, your thoughts, feelings, and your actions. Your thoughts, feelings, and action, these three are very powerful, because they're powerful because, you know, they control us. They control us, they control our mind to what we want, what we can have, what we can't have. And the more that we keep on saying, well, then your infinite mind, although it has the potential to give us everything, but it's up to us to know, okay, what are we doing in the process? And then the more we start to think about, then that is what we're going to be about, and that's what's going to come about, because we've already started to say that, you know, it's just not going to work. So if something is not going to work, you know, and also what does your logic mind say? So your conscious mind right here, which is your thinking, which is your logical side of your mind, how is that wired? And that in terms of how you're thinking and your logical side, so this is also your logical part of your mind, that is already wired. And because of that, this is how your paradigms right here, your paradigms, you know, are going to stop you. It's going to stop you right on your tracks. And then this is how, if we need to then reprogram, we need to rewire, we need to reprogram everything that we have said to ourselves, while we can. Whereas your infinite potential and your infinite mind is to give you everything, is to give to you. And so today I wanted to talk about your infinite mind, because your infinite mind is the potential you have, right? You have, but there are times that we just don't believe that that can be possible. We just don't believe, and we keep on saying to ourselves every single day, as I said, every single day, this is the results that we're achieving for. But what happens is either we have a positive thought or we have a negative thought. And when we have a negative thought, what we keep on saying, which is right here, your thought, right? Your thoughts, feelings, and actions. So if you're thinking already on the negative, and you keep affirming to yourself, well, then that's the result. Yeah, right here. That is the result then you're going to get, which is you're not going to get what your infinite mind has a potential. So I just want to go over, I just want to, just leave you with this right here so I talked about the infinite mind and, using your mind to get the results that you want. That is what your infinite mind is designed for. And then we have the results, what we are achieving, what we want to achieve, where we are going. So whether we have the positive thought or the negative thought, that is your paradigms, and that's how your paradigms comes into play. Because the moment, and your paradigm comes into play because it tries to trick us. It tries to trick us every time when we are trying to go to that direction, right? That higher frequency, as I talked about, the higher vibration. It will trick you. It will stop you in the tracks the moment. And the moment the paradigm comes into play, quite often what happens, we start to hear those voices, and then we start to believe. And then that's how we then act, right? Then that's what happens, because then we start to second guess ourselves. And that is the point, because your paradigms is strong. But when you have a strong mind, and when you can outdo your paradigms and say, hey, wait a minute, who's in control? Me, my mind, my infinite mind, or my paradigms? So your paradigms, although it's tricky, it will trick you. You want to make sure, if you are strong in your mind, your infinite mind, you will outdo your paradigm. And your paradigm is also known as your limiting beliefs. Your limited beliefs will tell you, I'm not capable, I am, I can't do this, I want to achieve this. That is your limiting beliefs, will limit you in your tracks. And your limited beliefs comes by your fixed thoughts. And your fixed thoughts, and how you can stop your fixed thoughts is the affirmations, is affirming to yourself, affirming to yourself in a positive light. And then I gave the example of the stick figure, your conscious mind to your subconscious mind to your body, to giving you the results. Your conscious mind is your logical thinking and educated mind. Your subconscious is your emotional and feeling part of your mind. And that internally, it's programmed in your body, and your body, and vice versa. It will go operate on the vibrations that you're on, whether on a higher vibration or the lower vibration, to give you then the results. And as I said, also your thinking, feeling, and actions, your thoughts, feelings, and actions are also powerful, and how they will get to operating in our for our infinite mind. And so your desires and your wants will also, oh, I'm sorry, that was Okay, so it's basically, I just want to stop here. So we want to, it's your thoughts, feelings, and actions. So every single day, what are the thoughts that we're sort of putting into our mind, into our infinite mind? And your infinite is, it has all the potential. It has infinite potential. But it's up to us to see that potential, and the thoughts, what you want to be saying and affirming to yourselves is either positive or it's either negative. And then your feelings, what you're feeling, if you're on a lower vibration, then how can you match that to get to the higher frequency? And that is determined by your actions. So this is what I wanted to talk about today, because it is powerful once we begin to learn and just understand the concepts that I just outlined, with the stick figure, because that truly, I love this illustration of the stick figure, because that truly illustrates everything, how our mind just operates, conscious, subconscious, and our bodies, and internally what, we produce. So, I'm just going to stop here, because this is a powerful one to just end with, and I'm glad I'm just rehashing this, because it's helped me. It's helped me into what I do, and I want to share the tools with you, how you can begin to reprogram everything that we are doing on the negative light. Then now we need to reprogram our mind. It's almost like a Rubik's Cube, right? You need to solve the solution. What is the solution? You're solving, and how you can solve your mind, which is a complex machine, to giving you the results and giving you, your infinite mind that has huge potential. So I'm just going to stop right here, because I know there was a lot that, when it comes to the mind, I love to talk about this. I love to share about your mind, and I love to, give the illustration from the stick figure alone, because this was developed in 1904 by a Viennese psychiatrist, and how he began to, operate, and how he began to see changes in his patients. So this is why it is so powerful. And so I'm going to stop right here. But Ria, anything that you want to share? Can't hear.
One key takeaway was that I do believe that, the mind is very powerful. And what I tell my kids is every night, if you say you can, and if you say you cannot, you are right.
You are right indeed. That's right. You are right. It doesn't matter what you're saying. Either way, you are right. Positive, negative, either which way. So you choose, what do you want? And then that is what, those are the results that will manifest. So we have come to the end of the show, but I am, we are so happy that, always, that you guys always tune in, and it is so beautiful to see that, because 80% is just showing up, and the more we learn, we really educate ourselves, the more knowledge that we have, the more that, we're just going to really would implement on those knowledge, because that's the key.